Mickey Mantle. Mickey, I'll let you think of something first. Sandy, you were right. You said Seaver would pitch a gem, and he did.
Well, Jim, he just, I thought, looked great all through the ball game. He started off a little slower than he finished from about the fourth inning on. He had great stuff and great control. I think he got a little tired in the ninth, but all in all, I think it was just a great ball game.
3-1, Mickey. You're sitting there with Baltimore and Buford, as I recall.
Well, I'm not laughing anymore. I don't know about the Orioles, but I'm getting a little mad. I think that everything that could happen has happened for the Mets. They've just done great, and I don't even know what to look for when I go back out there anymore.
Well, everybody is talking about, believe it or not the great catches of Swoboda and Jones or the hitting, but rather of the final play when Martin bunted the ball, Rickard came over, picked it up, and threw. Now, according to this morning's papers, we didn't hear it yesterday at the ballpark, some are saying that J.C. Martin was out of the baseline and should have been declared out. Do you think so, Sandy?
Well, first of all, I got to say Martin made a fine bunt. I think you can see here that he is inside in fair territory as he's going down the first baseline. There is that double white line about 45 feet from first base. It runs halfway down. The base runner is supposed to be in that. If he's not, the umpire can declare him out. I just didn't see it yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw it yesterday. I just know that I'd hate to be the umpire that had to make that decision yesterday at Shea.
Mickey, did it ever occur to you that he was out of the baseline?
I wasn't watching the runner quite so much. The left-handed pitcher is the one that come in and fielded the ball. And really, Ellie Hendricks, the catcher, is a right-handed player. He's running toward first base and toward the mound. He wouldn't have had to throw the ball quite so close to the base runner. But in a World Series like this, you know, and you got the winning run on third base anyway, you don't really have enough time to get together that soon.
Well, a controversial and amazing World Series continues, and we'll discuss more of it in a moment as we'll return with more of World Series Report. Mickey, I know you've been in a lot of World Series. You played a lot of outfield in the World Series, but gee whiz, they've only talked about Gianfrido and Amoros before this series. Then they began to talk about Tommy Agee's 2 great catches of 2 days ago. But there was a great catch by Swoboda yesterday, and there was one earlier by Cleon Jones.
Well, it just seems like every time that one of the Mets run and dives, the ball flies into his glove somewhere. I've never seen plays like this. I played in 13 World Series myself and watched a lot of them. I've never seen plays like these.
This is Cleon Jones on the ball hit by Davy Johnson. Is that your comment?
They talk about the Mets pitching, and I don't think there's any such thing as good pitching without good defense. And this is just what the Mets have had. Every time they've had a chance to run and stick out a glove somewhere, when the guy got up, there was a ball in it.
I remember one time when Casey was our manager. We was playing, I don't remember the team we was playing, but I remember a comment he made after the game said that the outfielders were just running around sticking their gloves out. That's what it looks like.
Well, Clendenin's home run was the only run of the game until the 9th, Sandy, and that's where Seaver had a slight letdown.
Jim, I thought he got tired a little bit. When he did get tired, I think he stopped pitching and started to throw the ball. He had Frank Robinson at the plate, and he looked like he tried to sneak a fastball by on the inside corner to Frank and tried to throw it by him in there. And it's a good pitch to Frank. I think that's where you have to pitch him, but this one he just maybe didn't quite have enough on. Frank hit the line drive into left field, and I think possibly he still had a little problem with his foot, or his instep, because both Mickey and I thought Frank would probably try for second. When he didn't, Boog singled into right field, and Frank went around to third and set the stage for Swoboda's great catch.
With 2 out, Mickey, this is the play of the game, maybe of the series.
Yeah, Brooks Robinson hits the ball into right center. This is the best play I've ever seen in my life, as far as I'm concerned. It saved this game for him, and it was one of those plays where he didn't catch the ball and then dive. He had to dive the length of his body or a little farther to catch the ball, and he catches it in the air as he's diving. Sandy and I didn't think that he could have, that's the only spot in that play where he could have caught that ball. If he tried to run back and cut it off on a first bounce or something, we don't think he could have caught it. It would have went all the way to the wall, and Boog Powell would have scored.
Well, now we go to the 10th inning, and here's another controversial play, again an outfielder, Mickey.
Well, this is my man Buford. he's had a bad leg himself, and he was playing kind of deep there, but I'm almost sure the reason that he didn't catch that ball was because he lost it in the sun.
This is what you talk about, the amazing Mets. Here a fellow looks up to the heavens and loses the ball. Somebody up there likes him.
I think that somebody up there really likes him. I'd read somewhere about I don't know very much about astrology. I don't believe, or I didn't believe in it before. I'm starting to believe in it now. I think that somebody up there is taking care of him.
Well, Grody goes down to second. They put Gasper in to run for him. With nobody out, they walk Al Weiss, and then they send up J.C. Martin to bat for Tom Seaver. And with none out, Sandy, everybody knew that Martin was going to bunt.
Definitely. I think Gil Hodges told him to bunt down to that side because it's a tough play for the left-hand pitcher to make. If he had bunted to third, it would have been an easier play for a left-hand pitcher. And as it turned out, it was the ball game. And this is not what was described as the dead Mets of the first day of the series.
Sandy, you said something earlier discussing this play. As a left-hander, on the mound, in the World Series, would you have made the play that Rickard made?
I'll be honest, as bad a fielder as I was, at any time, it didn't have to make any difference if it was the World Series or not. I would have let the catcher coming out try and make the play. And if I had to make it in that situation, I might have intentionally grounded it and not thrown it.
In other words, let the bases be loaded with none out and take your chances with the play at the plate.
Well, I just was not that good a fielder. I'd catch the ball all right, but I had trouble throwing the bases.
Well, we've got to look ahead today. It could be the final day, and we will in a moment as we'll return with more of World Series Report. Shea Stadium will go positively insane today if Jerry Koosman does do it, Sandy, and he's going against Dave McNally. The last time this hookup came, you said that you had to believe, off the basis of that league championship game we saw McNally pitch, it's one of the strongest pitching jobs that you've seen in 2 or 3 years. He's got to have it today.
Well, I think McNally is in a lot of ways in the same situation that Tom Seaver was yesterday. I think probably he came into the second game having too much rest. He's the kind of pitcher that has to have good control to win. Koosman, on the other hand, with great stuff like Jerry has, he can be just a little less on top of his control and pitch a great game, and he did in the second game. But I'd have to say today that I'm looking for McNally to pitch a great game.
Are these pitchers similar other than being left-handers?
Well, they each throw the same pitches, but I don't think you could say that they're similar. With Jerry Koosman, his best pitch is probably his fastball. With McNally, I think his best pitch is his curve and his slider. He's got a good fastball, but it wouldn't be that good without the other two.
Mickey, have you got your astrology charts out? Have you consulted them? What do you think?
Well, I think the Orioles are in a position about like Custer was when he told his men he'd take no prisoners. But they've got to make something happen. They can't sit back and wait for a break to help them now. It looks to me like the breaks have all been going the other way, and this is a time when that old saying that if something's not happening, make it happen would be a good thing to use today, because they're just going to have to start trying to do something that is wild, because this is the last game.
You know what we didn't bring up? Earl Weaver was thrown out of the game. First time a manager since 1935.
I think that that might have hurt him a little bit, because when you play the whole year with a guy and you've done as good as they have done, you learn that whatever he says goes. And even though Billy Hunter is probably, he's been there all year right with him, and he's probably doing the same things that Weaver would have done, it's still not like having your leader there. So it might have hurt him a little bit.
You know, I'll bring up one more thing, because it was in the Baltimore baseball program for the World Series. They pointed out that the Bullets won the Eastern Division of the National Basketball Association, didn't make it to the finals. The Colts won the NFL last year. The Jets beat them in the Super Bowl. Baltimore declared the team of the decade in the American League, and they could lose. 3 in a row for Baltimore. Talk about the amazing Mets. Baltimore would go mad. We'll be back with the final predictions right after these messages on World Series Report. Forget Custer's last stand, Sandy. This might be our last stand. All right, team of experts, what do you think, Sandy?
Well, I said I thought McNally was going to pitch a great ball game. I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think a great ball game probably won't do it. I think Baltimore is believing in the Mets now, and they're waiting for something to happen. They're not going out and trying to win. They're wondering what's going to happen to them now.
Mickey?
Well, there was 2 elevators here at the studio this morning when I came up, and I was afraid to make a choice. So I think that I'm going to go down with the Orioles.
You may go down.
McNally again.
We may be back in Saturday from Baltimore, maybe not. Jim Simpson with Sandy Koufax and Mickey Mantle. Stay tuned now for the 5th game of the 1969 World Series. Fans flooding in again. That's the Flushing subway as they move into Shea Stadium. Still 15 minutes before the first pitch of the 5th game of the World Series. And we have another bright, sunny afternoon, but it's cooler today than yesterday. The temperature is 61 degrees, and a strong wind right now is circulating around Shea Stadium. It's blowing in from first base toward third. Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt Gowdy. This is Lindsey Nelson, and Tony Kubek is roaming the stands as we'll give you today's coverage. And, of course, rhubarb swirled late into the night last night and right up here until game time today. First, about the ejection of the manager of the Baltimore Orioles, Earl Weaver. The home plate umpire, Shag Crawford, explained it. An automatic expulsion for Weaver protesting a ball and strike. And then on J.C. Martin's bunt, running to first base, he was struck on the left wrist. Pictures last night showed that he was running inside the foul line in fair territory. We're going to rerun the play for you and show you the outcome of that play. And Lindsey will explain the statement here made at 12:30 Eastern Time by the home plate umpire Crawford and the commissioner of baseball about the outcome of that decision. The pitchers today, Dave McNally has the job now of trying to send this series back to Baltimore and is Baltimore's last hope. McNally lost on Sunday 2-1 to Jerry Koosman, the left-hander from Billings, Montana, who lives now in Baltimore, going all the way. For the Mets, Jerry Koosman, who pitched a brilliant 2-hitter against Baltimore Sunday, was finally relieved in the 9th inning. He's coming back for the Mets today. And we were talking to Brooks Robinson before the game, and he said so far the Met pitchers have been the toughest set of pitchers on one staff that he or his teammates have ever hit against. But now let's get into some of the key plays of yesterday and more pregame dope. And here is Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Kurt Gowdy, and hello again, everybody. As you know, everything that happens in a World Series is magnified 1,000-fold, especially if it's a pivotal ball game like yesterday's. The Mets now have won 3 and lost 1. They're in a commanding position, but keep in mind, last year at this same time, the St. Louis Cardinals led the Detroit Tigers 3-1, and Detroit won the World's Championship. So now let's look at some of those plays that were roundly discussed all around the town last night. It was Brooks Robinson up there with runners at first and third in the 9th. The Mets were leading 1-0, and Ron Swoboda comes over, makes a diving catch called by many the greatest defensive play of this World Series. Robinson tagged and scored the tying run afterwards, but he prevented Boog Powell at first from moving up, and so it was a 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 10th, and Jerry Grody's up to lead off for the New York Mets. Grody lofts a pop fly into medium left field. Lost in the glare, Buford stayed back and then made the charge forward. Belanger went back and says he did not touch the ball. As you see it fall there, it went for 2 bases as it was recovered by Don Buford. That was a leadoff double then for Jerry Grody as he went sliding into second. That became the winning run. Rod Gasper came in to run for Grody. Al Weiss was up next, and he was intentionally walked with first base open. Then Gil Hodges hit for Seaver. He sent J.C. Martin up, and Pete Rickard was brought in to pitch to him. Sacrifice, he bunts the ball. Hendricks, the catcher, says that he yelled and he thought that he would make the play. In the den of Shea Stadium, Rickard said he didn't hear him. Watch Hendricks thinking that he has waved off the pitcher, reaches for the ball. Rickard gets it first. Watch Martin now down the line. As the throw is made, he is hit on the left wrist. He's clearly there inside. As the ball bounced away off the left wrist of J.C. Martin, onto the grass in short right. The winning run scored as Gasper crossed the plate, and the Mets won the ball game by a score of 2-1. Now, there was a still picture that was being circulated at press headquarters last night that showed Martin to be in fair territory. And the rule states, of course, that if he is hit in fair territory, that is interference, and he should have been called out. Earl Weaver says he didn't see the picture till he got back to the hotel and wishes that he had never seen it. The commissioner made a statement saying that it is not an appeal play, that it is simply a judgment call. Shag Crawford says that he thought that at the moment that the ball hit J.C. Martin. Martin's right foot was on the foul line, which would make him in proper position. Those are the statements made at 12:30 by Crawford and the commissioner. Now let's go downstairs to Tony Kubek.
Thank you, Linsby. With me in the commissioner's box, Joe DiMaggio and the commissioner of baseball, Bowie Kuhn. Mr. Commissioner, you had a tough statement to make this morning about the controversial play late in the ball game yesterday. Would you like to make it again?
Well, it wasn't too tough as far as I was concerned, Tony. I talked to the umpire, Shag Crawford, on the throw by Rickett to first base. And it was his judgment that the ball player going down the line, Martin, was permissibly within the running lane, and I've accepted his judgment. That is the end of it.
Joe D., you've seen such great fielding plays so far in this World Series, down in Baltimore and up here in New York Shea Stadium. You, of course, were part of that famous Al Gianfrido catch. You hit the ball. Are these toppers?
Oh, yes, I do recall that when I hit in Gianfrido catch, but I'd have to say two of the catches I saw here the day before yesterday and yesterday's catch were about as fine as catches you want to see in World Series play, particularly the one Swoboda made yesterday, because that was the ball game. I didn't think he had a chance for that ball.
Well, you know, it's a play where an outfielder doesn't even have a chance to think on it. He can make his move now or he doesn't do it at all.
Well, that is true. He had to dive because there's no way he backing up to catch it on the hop. It got by him any way he played it.
Joe D., thank you so much. Mr. Commissioner, thank you so much.
All right, Tony.
Now let's go on back upstairs.
Now we're ready for the player introductions for today's fifth game.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shea Stadium for the fifth game of the 1969 World Series. Here are the official lineups. First, the Baltimore Orioles. Here is the manager of the Orioles, number 4, Earl Weaver. Batting first, playing left field, number 9, Don Buford. Batting second, playing center field, number 6, Paul Blair. Batting third, playing right field, number 20, Frank Robinson. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 26, John Powell. Batting fifth, playing third base, number 5, Brooks Robinson. Batting sixth, playing second base, number 15, Dave Johnson. Batting seventh, catching, number 8, Andy Etchebarren. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, number 7, Mark Belanger. Batting ninth, pitching for the Orioles, number 19, warming up in the Oriole bullpen, Dave McNally. Here are the remaining players and coaches of the Baltimore Orioles. Now the New York Mets. Here's the manager of the Mets, number 14, Gil Hodges. Batting first, playing center field, number 20, Tommy Agee. Batting second, playing shortstop, number 3, Bud Harrelson. Batting third, playing left field, number 21, Cleon Jones. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 22, Don Clendenon. Batting fifth, playing right field, number 4, Ron Swoboda. Batting sixth, playing third base, number 5, Ed Charles. Batting seventh, catching, number 15, Jerry Garrodi. Batting eighth, playing second base, number 6, Al Weiss. Batting ninth. Pitching. Warming up in the Mets bullpen. Number 36, Jerry Koosman. Here are the remaining players and coaches of the New York Mets. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please rise for our national anthem, which will be sung by the noted Broadway stage and recording star, Miss Pearl Bailey.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
Pearl Bailey, the national anthem, and we'll be underway with Game 5 of the World Series as the Baltimore Orioles meet the New York Mets.
The umpires for today's game, behind the plate, from the American League, Lou DeMuro. At first base, from the National League, Lee Wire. At second base, from the American League, Hank Soler. At third base, from the National League, Frank Secori. On the left field line, from the American League, Larry Knapp. On the right field line, from the National League, Shag Crawford.
All right. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. The honor of throwing out the first ball for Game 5 goes to Joe DiMaggio, recently voted as the greatest living Major League ball player. Babe Ruth was rated the greatest player of all time. Jolton Joe, it's a big hand, as Costa Grote. He played in 10 World Series, and they loved him in his town. A graceful, matchless performer, the center fielder. Bowie Kuhn, the commissioner, alongside him. And in the commissioner's box there, we have Dick Forbes, the director of advertising, Chrysler, on the left. Carl Lindemann, the president of sports of the National Broadcasting Company. Mrs. Kuhn and other dignitaries. The meeting at home plate Earl Weaver and Gil Hodges, and just before the Mets take the field, here's Lindsey Nelson.
All right, Kurt Gowdy, the Mets taking the field here, hopeful that today they can win the ball game and wrap it up with a World's Championship here at Shea Stadium before the home folks. The Orioles aware that they need a 3-game winning streak, and manager Earl Weaver says they are professionals. They don't feel the pressure, especially that 17 times during the season that they had 3-game winning streaks. At first base, it's Don Clendenin for the Mets. At second base, it is Al Weiss. The shortstop is Bud Harrelson. And around at third, Ed Charles. Cleon Jones is in left field. Tommy Agee is in center field. And Ron Swoboda is in right field. The catcher is Jerry Grody. And Jerry Koosman, who warmed up down in the bullpen under the watchful eye of Met pitching coach Rube Walker, has not yet made an appearance. There is Koosman toweling off before getting ready to come out onto the mound. Earlier this year, he had some shoulder difficulty, but once he got that straightened out, he had a great second half and has won victory that coming last Sunday in the World Series competition. So it is Jerry Koosman out now to take his warm-up pitches. I was talking to him just before the ball game about where his home was actually located, because we had always listed him as Appleton, Minnesota. He said, well, actually now it's a place 11 miles away at Morse, Minnesota, but that actually he grew up not in either place. He grew up on a farm some 12 or 13 miles out of town. He used to play catch with his brother Orville Koosman. He used to be the catcher and Orville was the pitcher. He got to throwing him back harder than Orville was throwing to him, so Orville said, you be the pitcher. Here's his delivery. He's what they call sneaky fast, and he'll give you that fastball at 2 or 3 different speeds. He was the Mets stopper throughout the year. He brought them back from what few losing streaks they got into during the course of the season. Lou DeMuro of the American League at home plate today. Lee Wire of the National League at first. Hank Soar of the American League at second. Frank Sikori of the National League at third. Larry Knapp of the American League down the left field line. Shag Crawford of the National League down the right field line today. So the stage is set for game number 5 of the 1969 World Series. And coming in for the play-by-play, Kurt Gowdy.
Thank you, Lindsay. A strong wind blowing from first to third. Don Buford, switch hitter, will be batting right. In the series, he's had 2 hits and 16 times up. Stoller coaching at first, Hunter at third for the Orioles.
Number 9.
Buford, Blair, and Frank Robinson for Baltimore. Buford, a .291 hitter during the season. Straight away for him. And Ed Charles in tight at third in case of the bunt. Buford's a good bunter. Fouls it off going after that first pitch. The sun will be playing hide and seek today. They have a lot of clouds overhead. The last 2 days here at Shea Stadium, the skies have been cloudless. Curve, grounded to shortstop. Bud Harrelson's up with it, and there's one down.
Batting in the second position.
Earl Weaver
Playing center field.
back in the dugout today.
Number 6, Paul Blair.
Paul
Number
Blair against Jerry Koosman on Sunday. Got the first hit off Koosman. Koosman had a no-hitter until Blair single leading off in the 7th inning. Blair's had 2 hits and 16 times up. Slow ball hit to Agee out in center. Where 2 down. Frank Robinson
Batting in the third position.
has had 2 hits
Fielder.
in 13 times up.
Frank Robinson. Number 20.
During the year, Frank hit .308 with 32 homers, 100 RBIs. The power-hitting Orioles have been held to 1 home run in the series, and that was a leadoff home run in the opening game by Don Buford. Ball 1. Koosman quick with that pitch. Two 2-0 to Frank Robinson. Boog Powell's on deck.
Gil Hodges with his pitching coach, Rube Walker, in the Met dugout. There they fly to right. Here's Swoboda. And the Orioles are down 1-2-3 in the first inning. Into the first half inning. The Orioles nothing, with the Mets coming to bat. The Orioles defensively have John Powell at first, Dave Johnson playing second base, Mark Belanger the shortstop,
For the New York Mets, leading off,
and Brooks Robinson at third.
number 20.
Buford is at left, that's Blair in center. There's Buford at left. Frank Robinson's in right. Etchebarren's catching, and the first batter is Tom Agee for the Mets. Ball one delivered by Dave McNally. Agee has 2 hits in 15 times. One of those hits has been a home run. Twisting foul out of play. 1-1 to Tom Agee. Bud Harrelson will be up next, and then Cleon Jones. Pitching's dominated in this series. The Mets have a batting average of .220 as a team. The Orioles 144. Foul out of play again. One ball, 2 strikes to Tom Agee. McNally last Sunday went all the way, losing. Gave up 6 hits, walked 3, struck out 7. The 1-2 pitch, just a little high, 2-2. McNally, born in Billings, Montana, lives now in Lutherville, Maryland, a suburb of Baltimore. He'll be 27 years old this month. On deck, Bud Harrelson. 3-2. 3-2 pitch to Tom Agee. Milwaukee. Bud Harrelson, the Mets shortstop, has had 3 hits in 13 times.
Bud Harrelson, number 3.
Brooks Robinson even with the bag at third against him. Ball 1. And Etchebarren wants to settle his pitcher down now, McNally. The key to McNally's his curveball. When he's getting his curveball over, he's really tough. He won his first 15 decisions of the year. Strike. He tied 2 American League records for winning streaks. He had a 17-game winning streak. The last 2 wins of 1968, 15 in a row at the start of this season. That tied a record. Strike with the letters. Tied American League record for most consecutive wins over 2 seasons, set by Johnny Allen of the Indians back in 36 and 37. And by winning 15 in a row at the start of the year, he also tied Johnny Allen's record set back in 37. One ball, 2 strikes to Bud Harrelson. 2-2. McNally slumped off in August and September. He won 5 and lost 7 during those 2 months. Then he came back strong, shutting out Minnesota in the American League Championship Series in 11 innings. And he pitched a good game last Sunday, although he lost. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Oh, now he's gone 3-2 in the first 2 batters. He's walked Agee. You'll hear this roar coming over constantly. The flight pattern of LaGuardia Airport coming right over our head. There goes the runner. Strike 3, the throw down. Belanger can't hold the ball. Harrelson struck out, and a low throw. We'll take a look at it probably.
Batting in the third position, left fielder.
There's Agee, and the throw is there, but it was a little low and rolled away from Belanger. Watch Agee going again now. Just moving over, but the ball had dropped out of the glove.
Give Agee a stolen base. He's on second, 1 out. Cleon Jones up. Jones has had 2 hits in 16 times. Hit .340 for the year. No score. Last of the first inning. Blocked by Echebarren. That's McNally's curve, and he has a sharp one. It comes off and drops very sharply. Leon Jones. The batter, that's number 20, Tom Agee, with his back to you, getting his lead at second. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Dugout. Two balls, no strikes. That was Clendenon on deck. Two nothing pitch to Jones. 2-1 now. McNally's been good at home and on the road. Agee at second, 1 out. He won 8, lost 3 in Baltimore, and on the road he won 12 and lost 4. Pitch to Jones. A high fly ball to right field. Frank Robinson drawing a beat on it. Agee's tagging at second and is coming over. Throw is cut off by Belanger. Agee's on third, 2 down. This game authorized under television rights granted by Major League Baseball solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited. Don Clendenon hit a home run off McNally Sunday. He was 1 out of 3 in that game. For the series, Clendenon has 4 hits in 11 times. 4 players on the Mets have had 4 hits in the series. Ball 1. Boog Powell's the only man for Baltimore that has had 4 hits. Swoboda's had 4 hits. Grody 4 hits. Weiss 4 hits. On deck, Ron Swoboda. 2 down. Agee at third. No score. Last of the first. The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2. Agee may have bothered him a little bit, Lindsey.
I think so, Kurt. Agee made 1 dash during the championship series with Cleon Jones up there, and Cleon apparently didn't see him, and when he swung the bat and fouled the ball off, he was about a foot from Agee's head.
The 2-0 pitch. Strike 2-1. In fact, Agee made the statement, Leon Jones is such a good hitter, he tried to miss that pitch in Atlanta and couldn't. Tom Agee at third. 2 down. 2-1 to Don Clendenin. Two and two now. Bluff throw. Agee scrambling back. Get a ball up in the air today to left field is going to be given a boost. It's a crosswind blowing from first to third. The 2-2 pitch, just inside, 3-2. This is the third 3-2 count that McNally's had here in the first inning. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. Baltimore already has action in their bullpen. Dave Leonard is warming up.
Right fielder.
The right-hander.
Number 4, Ron.
Ron Swoboda, the batter.
Number 4.
Leonard warming up. McNally has walked 2. He's had 3 3-2 counts in the game. He is usually much sharper with his control. He walked 2.8 batters for every 9 innings pitched during the year. He's already walked 2 here in the first inning. Ron Swoboda, 4 hits and 11 times up. 1-0 to him. Clendenin at first. Agee's at third. And the first pitch by McNally to every batter has been a ball so far. Two and nothing. The on-deck batter's Ed Charles. Delivery. 2-1. Agee at third. Clendenin at first. 2 out, no score, last of the first inning. Swoboda being played as a pull hitter to left. 2-1 delivery. 2-2 now. That one just took the corner at the letters. Both runners getting, Clendenin will move off in a moment. Two-two pitch. Foul back right over our NBC booth. So while McNally ties those shoes, it's been a struggle for him here in this first inning, Lindsey.
Thrown a lot of pitches here in this inning, and he's had trouble getting that ball over. So he's faced now with a 2-2 delivery with 2 men out, runners at first and third to Ron Swoboda.
Two-two pitch. Struck him out with a good fastball. He struck out 2 and he walked 2 in that first inning. No runs for the Mets, no hits, there were no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of the first inning, it's Baltimore nothing and New York nothing. If Baltimore wins today, Friday will be an off day for travel. We'll be back with you in Baltimore on Saturday at 12:30 Eastern Time. World Series report, Jim Simpson, Sandy Koufax, and Mickey Mantle, followed by Game 6.
Number 26, John Powell. Number 26.
Bob Short, the president of the Washington Senators, Ted Williams with his arm on the railing, and Mrs. Williams next to him. Powell. Powell, the leading hitter in the series for the Orioles with an average of 267. Has had 4 hits, 15 times up. 1-1. In fact, Powell's the only Oriole hitting over 200. Kuzman's been coming in sidearm to him. Powell, Brooks Robinson, and Dave Johnson for the Orioles here at the top of the second. 2-1 to Powell. Check swing, but it's over. 2-2. Brooks Robinson on deck. Three and two. You'll see more banners in this ballpark. It became famous for them over the years than any other park in the major leagues. A 3-2 pitch to Powell. Powell back. They have a banner day here every year, don't they, Lindsay?
It's a fantastic sight to see. It's a promotion that's been copied in other major league ballparks, and this year there were more than 3,000 entries. And they open the center field gates and they march in and around the ballpark.
3-2 to Boog Powell. A high fly, deep left center. Leon Jones, the left fielder, makes the grab, and there's 1 out. Brooks Robinson,
third baseman, number 5, Brooks
has had
Robinson.
1 hit
Number
in
5.
15 times, but he has knocked in the only 2 runs the Orioles have scored in the last 31 innings. 1 on a base hit, and the other a line drive, and that fantastic catch by Swoboda in the top of the 9th inning yesterday. Strike to him. I was asking Brooks Robinson before the game just how good are these Met pitchers, and he said plenty good. They're the hardest throwing set of pitchers I've ever hit against. Change up. 1-1. On deck is Dave Johnson. Robinson thought Seaver was the quickest of the pitchers he'd hit against. Curve is over, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score. We're in the top of the second. Count holds. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brooks Robinson.
Kurt Kuzman was signed for a bonus of $1,200. Scout Red Murph offered him $1,500, then $14, then $13, and then $12, and he signed for $12. He said he thought if he didn't sign then he'd be owing them money by the next week.
Ground ball to short. Bud Harrelson's throw. 2 down. I'd say the Mets got a real bargain with this boy.
They did that.
Batting in the 6th position.
This 5th game of the
Second
1969 World
Number
Series being
15.
brought to you in living color on NBC. NBC celebrating its 30th anniversary of sports telecast and its 23rd year of World Series coverage. Dave Johnson, the Baltimore second baseman, has not had a hit in 12 times. 2 down, nobody on. Ball goes by Charles in the left. Johnson's on. We're about to say he may not have had a hit, but he's played rather an obscured second base with all the other great plays. He's made 2 fine plays of himself. And there's his first base hit according to the official score.
Number 8, Andy.
Johnson at first, 2 down. Andy Etchebarren. Here's a kite beyond the center field stands. Etchebarren up 3 times, no hits. Played in the second game at Baltimore. Hit .249 for the season. Of Boston descent. Big chopper to Charles. Goes to second for the force on Johnson. The Orioles are out in the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. At the end of an inning and a half, it's Baltimore nothing and New York nothing.
I'm looking forward to winning today, though.
You don't think we're going back to Baltimore?
No, I don't think we are. I don't want to. I'm wearing my lucky ring and my lucky buttons.
Nancy Seaver, thank you so much. Let's go back upstairs.
Ed Charles, strike 1 to him. He had 2 hits and 4 times up against McNally on Sunday. A double and then a single in the 9th, which started a winning rally. He's the old-timer of the Mets. Hits it down to Brooks Robinson, grabs it on that offbeat hop and throws him out, and there's 1 down.
Batting in the 7th position.
They'll be talking about third base play for years.
Number 15.
With the show that boy's put on.
Number 15.
Brooks lives now in the Baltimore area. His mother and father up here from Little Rock, Arkansas, though, to watch him play in the series. Jerry Grody. 4 hits and 15 times up, a strike to him. On deck is Al Weiss. Grody is the only player in the series to hit safely in every game. He's had 1 hit in each game. We have no score. This is the last of the second. On the corner. 0-2 to Grody. One ball, 2 strikes. The Orioles have not alibied the position they're in right now. They give the Mets full credit. The 1-2 pitch. A fly ball into deep right center. Paul Blair getting on his horse, back for it. 2 down. The manager of the Orioles, Earl Weaver, said, look, they've made the plays when they've had to, and that's why they're winning.
Second baseman.
And you talk to the various Oriole players, they have nothing but praise for the Met pitching and the Met fielding. 2 down. Nobody on, and Al Weiss the batter. He's had 4 hits and 7 times up. Batting .571 in the World Series. McNally curves him as low. And of course he knocked in the winning run against McNally last Sunday in the top of the 9th inning. Line shot, grabbed by the shortstop Belanger. 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 2 innings, the score is 0-0. Well, it's certainly been an exciting year for baseball here in New York. Probably never been matched before. It's been that way across the country with the new divisional setups in baseball. We had that wild race in the Western Division of the National League. Record attendances this year. We hope you've enjoyed Major League Baseball, especially on the game of the week during the season. Mark Belanger leads off for the Orioles and fouls it off. Belanger at 2 for 12. Of course, the highlight of the entire season has been the rise of the Mets. The balloon on the field. That's one way to handle it.
I'd expect that's the best possible way to handle it.
Belanger, McNally, and Buford for the Orioles this inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's Dave McNally. Swung late and just got a piece. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Orioles have the only hit so far. Dave Johnson single. Mayor Lindsay. Loops it into right field on a curveball. Why Belanger improved his average so much? Look out. He just got back, and they're trying to push him off there. That's the catcher, Jerry Grody, down there. Right fielder Swoboda made a quick throw, hoping to get Belanger making the turn.
Look at this again now. Swoboda up with it, and Grote followed the runner up to cover the bag. Takes the throw now. Made one tag, and Belanger's back, and then Grote attempted to push him off the bag.
Number 19.
Lee Wire making the safe call.
I don't believe Belanger was too happy with that tag. There's a drive by McNally, hit the deep left field, and that ball is into the Baltimore bullpen. Dave McNally has put the Orioles out in front 2-0. He hits a home run now and then. He hit 4 American League home runs, 3 last season and 1 this season. And on the first pitch now, he has the Orioles out in front 2-0.
Number 9.
Ball 1 to Don Buford. Nobody on, nobody out. Baltimore leading 2-0. A strike to him. 1-1. The ball didn't take long to get out of here, Lindsay.
Certainly didn't. Dropped it right over the wall into the Oriole bullpen.
Foul out of play. 1-2 to Buford, who grounded to short his first time. Gets it off the fist to Bud Harrelson. Has to hurry, and he gets to Fleet Buford. 1 down.
Center fielder.
When a man like Buford's going down the line, there's a lot of pressure on the infielder. He knows he can run, and he has to charge and get rid of that ball in a hurry. Paul Blair flied to center his first time. This boy hit 300 all year until he went into a slump in September. Strike. On deck is Frank Robinson. Curve is inside. He went into the slump. He said he was jerking his head. You know, they say keep your eyes on the ball. He was taking his eyes off the ball as he swung, jerking his head around. There goes his bat. Look out. Nearly into the Baltimore Oriole box over there for their club executives. One ball, 2 strikes to Paul Blair. The fractured ankle. 67, recovered from it. Was now one of the best defensive center fielders in baseball and a good hitter. 1-2 to him. Struck him out on a curve. Merle Bailey, who sang the national anthem and is not just one of those fans that comes to a game when the World Series is on. She's out here all summer rooting for the Mets. 2 down for the Orioles. Frank Robinson up. He flying to right his first time. Looking back to last year's World Series, we remember home runs by Bob Gibson and Mickey Lolich. There's a long belt by Robinson. Forget that one. It's gone. Nobody moved in the Met outfield or infield. Robinson slams it into deep left center, and the Orioles lead 3-0. And this is the kind of hitting that the Orioles had all year until September 7th, when they went into a team batting slump during the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, but still had the pitching and defense to win.
John Powell, number 26.
And Gil Hodges, his usual impassive self. That's the 4th World Series home run for Frank Robinson. Ball 1 to Boot Powell. He hit 1 in 61, 2 in 66. playing with the Reds in '61, and then this one right now. 3-0. The Orioles leading. The curve is low. Ball 2. 2 down, nobody on. Jerry Koosman has been roughed up here in the 3rd. Foul ball back. Earl Weaver, the Oriole manager, said, we're going to break loose sometime. It's got to be today or it's all over. But he said, I know we're going to come out of it. We've got too many good hitters to be scoring no runs or 1 run the way we're doing. The 2-1 pitch. Foul. 2-2. Strike 3, but the Orioles came up with 3 runs, 3 hits. There were no errors, nobody left. At the end of 2.5 innings, it's Baltimore 3 and the Mets nothing.
Hello, Dolly. How are you, Pearl?
Don't leave, you almost choked me.
You're eating a hot dog like a true Mets fan.
I tell you, everybody's getting so nervous.
You're not nervous.
No, of course not. Jerry has got, I said he had an arm and said, there we go.
McNally hits a home run for Baltimore, and Jerry Koosman goes after the first pitch and slams a double into the left field corner for the Mets. So he's on second, nobody out, and Tom Agee up, walked in the first inning. Koosman had only 4 hits all season, and they were all single. 4 hits and 84 times up. All right, Agee walked his first time. A ball to him. The Orioles are leading 3-0, last of the 3rd. Strike. One ball, 1 strike. Bud Harrelson's on deck, and then Cleon Jones. Curve is high. 2-1. That's Koosman on second. They'll have the windbreakers on today. It's 61 degrees. With the wind blowing, they can chill off very quickly. The 2-1 pitch. Ball 3 to Agee. 3-1. It's a high pop, shallow center. Paul Blair coming on. 1 away. Koosman staying at second.
Shortstop, Bud.
Bud Harrelson, the next Met batter, struck out his first time. Koosman with his lead at second, 1 out. Foul back. Practicing his stance, and he's cut. Cleon Jones on deck. A one-strike pitch. Beautiful curve by McNally. 0-2. Well, it's either going to be over here today or we'll be in Baltimore Saturday with Gentry against Palmer, probably. There's some surprise moves by the two managers. Foul ball. Eddie Yost, who used to play a mess of third base for the Senators, the third base coach of the Mets. One out. Gary Koosman at second. Last of the third. Baltimore's ahead 3-0. 2 strikes to Bud Harrelson. 1-2 to him. McNally gets that ball placed in that pocket. Foul ball. Doesn't pitch with a big windup, you'll notice. Gets his fingers in position and then hides that ball. One ball, 2 strikes to Bud Harrelson. Struck him out. That's strikeout number 3 for Dave McNally. There are 2 down. And Cleon Jones coming up. He's flying to right his first time.
Jones, number 21.
McNally's had an incredible record since the All-Star game of 1968. He's won 34 and lost 9 in the last year and a half. Baltimore, 3 runs, 4 hits. New York, no runs, 1 hit. Cleon Jones hits to all fields. He's played just about straight away by the Oriole outfield. Ball 1 to him. Don Clendenin on deck. Ball 2. Some of these fantastic catches we've had in the World Series have come about because the players have been in just about the right position to make them. The 2 clubs thoroughly scouted each other. You can have scout reports, but the pitchers have to throw to the hitters the way that you want them to and get the ball where they want to. And both sides have been doing this. 2 balls, no strikes. Jones is a good breaking ball hitter. Pitch is over, 2-1. Baltimore leading 3-0, last of the third. Koosman at second, 2 down. Fouls it off. 2-2 count. Koosman led off this inning with a double. He's still on second. Agee flying out. Harrelson struck out. The 2-2 pitch coming up to Cleon Jones. And he pops it up. Boog Powell, Dave Johnson converging. Look out, who's got it? Powell yelled Johnson off. So the Mets are out in the last of the third. No runs, one hit. There were no errors, one left. At the end of 3 innings, it's Baltimore 3 and the Mets nothing. Satchmo Louis Armstrong sitting there with Toots Shore. Always a great ball fan here at Shea Stadium. Remember, the World Series goes 7 games on Sunday. You'll see another baseball-football doubleheader on NBC. Coverage beginning at 1:30.
Robinson.
Denver at Cincinnati, San Diego at Boston, Miami at Kansas City, Buffalo at Oakland. If the World Series is over on Sunday, they'll have 2 American Football League games. In the 4th inning, Brooks Robinson leads off. Brooks grounded out his first time to short. Jerry Koosman's pitch. A ball to him. Dave Johnson's on deck. Then Andy Etchebarren. 1-1 to Robinson. Belanger singled in the 3rd. McNally homered. Then with 2 down, Frank Robinson homered. And the Orioles have 3 runs, 4 hits. The Mets no runs, 1 hit. 2-1 count. Fouls into the stand. A high fly ball, left center. Tom Agee calling for it. 1 away.
Second baseman.
Dave Johnson, the batter.
Dave Johnson.
There have been only 3 teams in World Series history who have been down 3 games to 1 and have come back to win the World Championship. Pittsburgh did it in 1925 against the Senators. The Yankees in 1958 against Milwaukee. Strike 1 to Dave Johnson, who singled the left his first time. And the Tigers last year were down 3 games to 1 and then beat the Cardinals. The Orioles are down 3 games to 1 coming into this game. 0-2 to Johnson. Little half swing, Koosman with an easy play, 2 down. Andy Etchebarren will be the next batter. He wrapped into a force play his first time.
Andy Etchebarren. Number 8.
Well, aside from the 2 home runs by McNally and Frank Robinson, everything's been sort of quiet so far. Strike. This is the top of the 4th inning. One and one to Etchebarren. Mark Belanger on deck. Pounding ball to Al Weiss. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Jerry Koosman. At the end of 3.5 innings, Baltimore 3, New York nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Kurt Gowdy with Lindsey Nelson and Tony Kubek. Don Clendenin in the last of the 4th inning for the Mets. He walked his first time. McNally drops the curve to him for a strike. Ron Swoboda's on deck, and then Ed Charles. Strike 2. Clendenin's the busiest batter in the series at the plate. Watch him now. He's wiggling and waggling. The 2-strike pitch. Fastball. 1-2. strikeouts for Dave McNally.
Right fielder.
And Denon wasn't too happy with the call.
Swoboda, number 4.
McNally walked 2 in the first, had 3 3-2 counts. Now seems to be pitching himself into some control. 1 out, nobody on. Swoboda struck out his first time. Nothing a 1 to him. Ed Charles will be up next. Strike 2. One out, nobody on. One and 2. Base hit up the middle. McNally ahead on the count, came right in there with a fastball to him. That's the second hit for the Mets. And the batter's Ed Charles, who grounded out to third his first time. The Orioles have had 4 hits. The Mets have had 2 hits. Gave him a curve. Nothing a 1 to Charles. Swoboda at first. Stole only 1 base all year. 1 and 1. Baltimore's ahead 3-0. The Mets are batting here in the last of the 4th. Jerry Grote due up next. High pop foul, Etchebarren. 2 down. He won't handle many higher foul pops than that one.
Catcher, Jerry Grote.
So we have 2 away for the
Number
Mets.
15.
Swoboda at first, and Jerry Grote, the catcher, up. Fly to center in a second. Now he's getting strikes on his first pitch to these hitters.
Come on, Brody.
1 and 1 to Jerry Grote. Two away, Ron Swoboda at first. 1-1 pitch. Hit hard to Belanger. Go down in the stands again to Tony.
Thank you. With me, one of the great baseball fans in the world, Toots Shore. And Toots, I know you're a Giant fan and a Willie Mays fan, but who are you pulling for in this series?
The hometown, the Mets I'm pulling for, because it's our hometown. It's the only one other town I'd root for would be San Francisco.
They can't do anything wrong, can they?
No, they can't, and Gil's doing a great job. Hodges, I think, is doing the best job of handling his men and running a baseball team as good as any man I've ever known in my life.
Toots Shore, thank you very much. Let's go back upstairs.
Mark Belanger takes ball 1. He looped a single to right, then came in to score on McNally's homer in the 3rd. Dave McNally will be up next. 1 and 1. There's the slugger. Belanger was a great basketball player at Pittsfield, Massachusetts High School. Fouled out of play. He has those loose actions in the field that you could tell he Must have been quite a basketball player. 1-2 pitch to him. Fly ball to right. Swoboda right there for it, and there's one down. Dave McNally.
Pitcher.
Homered his first time.
McNally. Number 19.
There's that professional sign artist. He must be exhausted at the end of the year. He paints 60 signs for every game he comes out. He has a file system. Nothing at one. One out, nobody on. Strike 2 to McNally. The Orioles are leading 3-0 in the top of the 5th inning. $57,397 has been announced as a paid attendance. Struck him out on 3 pitches. 2 down. Jerry Koosman,
Left fielder.
was tough here at Shea Stadium this year, winning 9 and losing 3.
Number 9.
He was runner-up in his rookie year last year to Johnny Bench of the Reds as Rookie of the Year. He missed 40 or nearly a month this season with he called it a numb shoulder, didn't he, Lindsay? Just a stiff, numb shoulder.
It was a muscle underneath the shoulder there. They had a little trouble diagnosing it for a while.
He missed a month and still won 17 games this year. Don Buford looks at that fastball for a strike. Buford twice has grounded to short. The Orioles have 2 down, nobody on, and they have Paul Blair on deck. Outside. 1-1 to Buford. Harrelson playing in a step or 2 on him, and Ed Charles even with a bag at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Don Buford. The lights are on here. It's getting darker. Overcast over Shea Stadium. Curve is hit into right center. That ball is cut by Ron Swoboda.
There is Ron Swoboda now moving over into right center and backhanding the ball into the glove in full flight for the out that retired the side.
Well, the Orioles are out 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th at the end of 4.5 innings. It's Baltimore 3 and New York nothing. I play the New York broadcaster, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Curt Gowdy, and hello again, everybody. Al Weiss takes a pitch low for ball 1. Weiss has had 4 hits in this World Series. Today he's been up 1 time and lined out to Mark Belanger at shortstop. In there for a called strike, 1-1. Dave McNally had a shaky start today. Walked 2 men in the first inning. There was action in the Baltimore bullpen, but he has settled down now to the McNally that the Oriole fans know and love. Here's a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. And he has been posted to a 3-run lead. He hit a 2-run home run, and Frank Robinson hit 1. That's Jerry Koosman on deck now for the Mets, who have been unable to get anything started of substance against McNally. Here's a foul ball. It's 1-2. McNally has struck out 4 and he's walked 2. Those 2 walks in the very first inning. Trying to bring Baltimore home ahead to take this series back to Baltimore for game number 6 of the 1969 World Series, which would be scheduled for Saturday. Foul ball backing out of play, and the count holds at 1-2 to Al Weiss. Al Weiss in his major league career has had 6 home runs. 1 of them was off Dave McNally. He hit 2 of those 6 at Wrigley Field in Chicago against the Cubs in a crucial series earlier this year. Ground ball to third. Big hop up to Brooks Robinson. Guns it across to Powell in time, and Weiss is out. 1 away, and Jerry Koosman peels off the jacket. He looked a double down the left field line in the 3rd inning. He is not known for his prowess with the bat. The Mets are batting here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They've had only 2 hits off Dave McNally. A double by Kuzman, a single by Ron Swoboda. Foul ball back and out of play for strike one. That's in for a called strike. The Mets with their predominantly right-hand batting order here this afternoon against the left-hander. It is the batting order that produced 1 run in the first game of the World Series and 2 to get a win over McNally in the second game last Sunday. Yesterday, it was the right-hand batting order that produced the 2 runs to get a 2-1 win in 10 innings. Tommy Agee's on deck. Just missed outside. It's 1-2. It was the Mets' left-hand batting order that swept the 3 games from the Atlanta Braves to win the National League pennant for the Mets. And it was their left-hand batting order that scored 5 runs in game number 3 here in the 5-0 win. Swing and a miss, strikeout number 5 for Dave McNally. 2 Mets are out in the 5th inning, and Tommy Agee is coming up.
Tommy Agee.
Agee walked, stole second in the first inning. He flied out to center field in the 3rd. He was the big hero of the Met victory in the 3rd game of the World Series here, day before yesterday. Bunts the ball up the third baseline. Let's watch Robinson play it. He overruns it with a bare hand stab, and Agee is on. Robinson made the bare hand stab and came up empty.
One of the first time Robinson hasn't handled this ball. Looked like it took a hop as he reached down with a bare hand. Watch it here. Right over the top of his hand. He would have had to made some play to get Agee anyway.
It is scored as a base hit, the 3rd for the Mets. There are 2 men out, and Bud Harrelson's up. Switch hitter batting right. Fly ball to center field, and Paul Blair has it lined up. So the side is out. The Mets with no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left at the end of 5 full innings of play. The score is the Orioles 3 and the Mets nothing. We pause now for station identification.
Center fielder, Paul Blair, number 6.
And Nancy Seaver, Tom's wife, is the subject of that banner. This is Lindsey Nelson with Kurt Gowdy and Tony Kubek at Shea Stadium in New York. Game number 5 of the 1969 World Series. The Orioles are up in the 6th inning, leading 3-0. Guzman's pitch to Blair is low for a ball. Blair flied to center and struck out swinging. That's high and away for a ball. Perhaps you recall yesterday seeing Tom Seaver walk back to second base umpire Lee Wire at one point, and then the ball was thrown out of play. We were talking to Tom about that before the ball game today. There's a swing and a drive deep center field, way back, and Agee retreats and one hands the ball, turning around. Tommy Agee.
Looks like he nearly turns the wrong way on this one.
Right fielder.
Now he has to spin around.
Robinson, number 20.
Another one-hander by Tom Agee.
Some kind of outfield play here in this World Series. There's 1 man out, and Frank Robinson is up. He lined to right field in the first inning, and he homered a long home run to left center in the 3rd. Swinging a foul ball back. Tom Seaver said that yesterday he looked down at the ball and discovered it was an American League ball. So he walked back to the umpire and said, "Do I have to use this?" And he said, "No." So they exchanged it. He said there wasn't much difference, maybe no difference, but he was surprised to find that it was an American League ball, and he didn't know how it got in there. Here's a pitch in for a strike. It's 2 strikes now to Robinson.
Joe Cronin's signature on one and Warren Giles on the other one.
That's it. Boog Powell is on deck. And Robinson is hit by the... No, it's a foul ball. It's a foul ball, says Lou DeMuro. And now Earl Weaver is out. Earl Weaver is out there again. The umpire is Lou DeMuro of the American League. DeMuro called it a foul ball. Robinson and Weaver are contended that he was hit by the pitch ball. And they're asking him to ask the advice of Lee Wire at first base.
Well, yesterday didn't back Earl Weaver off any. Weaver wants to keep his man in the game.
Weaver and Robinson back up now. For a word with Lou DeMuro. So now the Oriole manager goes back to the dugout.
Parting little blast.
He's not through yet. You may recall that there was a similar incident yesterday with Ed Charles of the Mets at bat when Gil Hodges came out to discuss the matter with umpire Shag Crawford at the time. Robinson has gone back into the dugout. George Bamberger, the pitching coach, is there with Weaver. Now umpire Lou DeMuro is coming over to the dugout. That runway goes back to the locker room. And apparently Robinson went back there for some treatment.
I think the umpire is asking, where's Robinson?
I think it would be a fair question at this time.
He might have gone in to have a quick look by that trainer that he worked on, Lindsay. Here he is.
I think he did. No, that's Buford coming out.
Buford.
That's Buford. I think he did, because that goes right back to the locker room where the trainer would be, and I think he did. So play is held up here in the World Series. And the Met fans, of course, are getting into the act, because as far as Met fans are concerned, baseball is a participating sport.
They worked on him. He's taking his shirt off.
So Robinson will be back out here in a moment. We're informed that the trainer said he had a goose egg on his leg. As soon as he has readjusted the uniform, Robinson will be back out here with a 2-strike count. There's one man out, nobody on base. The Orioles are batting in the top half of the 6th inning, and they are leading the Mets by a score of 3-0 in this 5th game of the World Series. Two is the count. Kuzman's pitch to Frank Robinson. Foul back, and the count holds at 2 strikes. pitch is high, and it goes to 1-2. One-two delivery. Breaking pitch in for a call, strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Kuzman. And Boog Powell is coming up. He's flied to left and struck out so far. As Curt Gowdy has pointed out, Kuzman likes to sidearm Powell. 3-quarter there, and it's low for a ball. Powell is the only left-handed hitter in this ball game, including both sides. Discounting, of course, the switch hitters, Don Buford and Bud Harrelson, who are batting right today. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Breaking pitch low, and it's 2-1. Brooks Robinson. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Orioles 3 runs, 4 hits. The Mets no runs, 3 hits. Two-two delivery. Check swing, pop out into left, and it is on by for a base hit. Boog Powell checked the swing and just popped it out past Harrelson into left.
All he was trying to do was just lay the bat on the ball. Watch it here in slow motion. Pitch going away from him. He really had that rear end out there.
So with a runner at first and 2 men out, it's Brooks Robinson up now. Grounded out short to first and flied to center. Swing and a miss. It's strike 1. That's left field, and Cleon Jones makes the catch. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. In the middle of the 6th inning, the score is Baltimore 3 and the Mets nothing.
Sitting down here with me, and if I just call him Satsmo, the whole world know who I'm speaking about. Satsmo, how you enjoying the ball game?
It's a beautiful game, I'm telling you. And I've been enjoying the whole series.
You a Mets fan?
Yeah, we don't know who's going to win it. But still in all, you got to enjoy it. They're both beautiful teams.
You're a beautiful man. Louis Satsmo Armstrong, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Let's go on back upstairs.
That young man appears to be a Met fan. He's got on all the sides. Cleon Jones is up now. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Cleon has gone 0 for 2, flying to right and popped out to first base. The Mets have had only 3 hits off of Dave McNally, who's been thoroughly in command. Cleon skipping to get out of the way, and it's ball 1. He starts down to first base, and DeMuro calls him back. So Cleon thought he was hit by the pitch ball, and now comes Yogi Berra down from the coaching lines at first, about halfway. And Gil Hodges carrying the baseball. It's coming over now. Hodges showing the baseball to DeMuro. Hodges, we might have a shoe polish play here. Remember the Nippy Jones shoe polish play in the 1957 World Series at Milwaukee? Hodges showing it to Lou DeMuro, who awards first base. Another shoe polish play here at Shea Stadium. And here comes Earl Weaver. You could bet on that.
This see two complete different approaches here from the managers. Weaver is more the fiery type when he comes out. Hodges seems to be almost unemotional when he is even trying to make a point with an umpire.
Weaver still has a few words to say on the subject, as he wants to see the baseball. He said, let me see it. Let me see the shoe polish. It was Augie Donatelli, I believe, who called the shoe polish play in the '57 World Series with Nippy Jones of the Milwaukee Braves at the plate. And after he saw the shoe polish, he awarded him first base. So with nobody out, the Mets have a base runner, and Don Clendenon is up, and the Met fans have come alive here. That's fouled off, and it's strike one. Ron Swoboda is on deck.
Lindsay, when Robinson went into evidently his clubhouse, McNally had a long wait in that dugout.
Did have a long wait. This will be a strike one delivery. That's high and away, and it's 1-1. So Echebarren goes out now just to have a word with McNally, who started a little shakily as far as control was concerned today, then settled down and became extremely sharp. Mets have had only 3 hits. The Orioles are leading in the game by a score of 3-0. This will be a 1-1 delivery to Don Clendenon. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Clendenon came to the Mets this year from the Montreal Expos. Spent most of his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. One-two delivery. Outside, so it's 2-2. With Swoboda there on deck with the weighted donut on the bat. This will be a 2-2 offering. Way back in left field. Buford goes to the wall. It's going, gone for a home run for Clendenon. Clendenon's 3rd home run in this World Series. It is Baltimore 3 and the Mets 2. He hit a 2-2 pitch.
Watch this. This curveball hangs right over the plate for him. Alley hung the curve to him, right over the plate to him.
So Don Clendenon has his 3rd home run of this World Series, and Ron Swoboda's up now with nobody on and nobody out. It's the Baltimore Orioles 3 and the New York Mets 2. Swoboda bunts the ball back. Echebarren can't get to it. It's a foul ball out of play and strike one. So Dick Hall, I believe it is, up and throwing. Yes, it is. Hall is up and throwing. He was the losing pitcher in yesterday's ball game. Came in to pitch the 10th. Tug McGraw is throwing in the Met bullpen. Tug McGraw is up and throwing for the Mets. That's low for a ball as the Mets get down lower in their batting order. Swoboda is the number 5 man. Look at the little action. There's McGraw, the left-hander. So the ballpark has come alive now with the hometown team having scored twice. That's in for a called strike. It's 1-2. Wind is blowing out toward left. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Inside low, and it's 2-2 now to Ron Swoboda. Ed Charles is next in the order. The Mets are batting in the bottom half of the 6th inning at Shea Stadium in New York. Dave McNally's 2-2 pitch to Ron Swoboda. And it is looped out back of second, where it's taken by Dave Johnson, who had good position They were playing Swoboda to pull, and he was practically behind the bag at second to take the soft line drive. Watch Joe Garagiola each morning on the Today Show as he brings you highlights of the World Series and talks with the stars of each game. That's a great way to start the day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. With one man out and nobody on, Ed Charles is up. Breaking pitch is low, bounds off the glove of Echeverria, and it's ball one. Charles is grounded out third to first, and he's fouled out to the catcher. Jerry Grote's on deck. Foul back. It's 1-1 now to Ed Charles. The night before the New York Mets clinched the National League pennant to get into the World Series, I was talking to Ed Charles, and he was saying with some emotion, I have waited 18 years and I'll never get another chance. This was what he wanted to do, get into a World Series in his 18th year of professional baseball. High and away. It's 2-1. McNally's 2-1 pitch. Now it on the ground. Brooks Robinson with the big hop. Guns to Boog Powell, and Charles is out. 2 away, and Jerry Grote will be the batter. Grote has flied to center and grounded into a force play so far. It was Grote's fly ball to left, misjudged by Buford, which became a double and the winning run in the 10th inning yesterday. Here's a ground ball to short. A big hop up to Belanger, across to Boog Powell, and the side is out. So it's 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors and none left. At the end of 6 full innings of play, the score is the Orioles 3 and the Mets 2. This Saturday night, Andy Williams plays host to Don Knotts, Ray Charles, Cass Elliott, the Osmond Brothers, and the Creedence Clearwater Revival. Join the fun. It's the Andy Williams Show, Saturday at 7:30, 6:30 Central Time, on most of these NBC stations. Dave Johnson's up. He's 1 for 2. Guzman's pitches and fastball for a called strike 1. Echeverria's on deck. The Orioles are batting in the 7th inning, leading the Mets by a score of 3-2. Fly ball down the right field line. Swoboda coming fast to the line. Foul territory. He makes the catch. A foul ball.
Catcher.
1 man out, and Andy Echeverria coming up now. He's grounded into a force play and grounded out second to first. The outfield defense shades him to go to the opposite field. Mark Belanger's on deck. Fouled off the end of the bat. Strike 1. Swung himself out from underneath the helmet. There you can see Agee out in center, shaded over toward right. And right fielder Swoboda moved toward the line against the right-hand batter. The only concession that manager Earl Weaver makes to platooning is that of Echeverria and Elrod Hendricks. Foul off and back into the seats out of play, and the count goes to 2 strikes to Andy Echeverria. He bats number 7 in Earl Weaver's Baltimore batting order. The Birds want to win this one and take the World Series back to Baltimore, where they'd need only a winning streak of 2 games in their home park to clinch the World's Championship. Swing and a miss. Guzman gets his 5th strikeout of the day. 2 men out, nobody on base, and Mark Belanger's coming up. Singled and later scored in the 3rd inning. He was on base when McNally hit his homer, and Belanger flied out to right in the 5th inning.
Guzman now has retired 12 of the last 13.
Swing and a miss. It's strike 1. The Mets also expect Belanger to take that ball to the opposite field. That's zipped in a little low, and it's 1-1. Orioles got all 3 runs in the 3rd inning. That's McNally on deck. He hit a 2-run homer, and then with 2 men out, Frank Robinson hit a home run. Foul back and out of play. 1-2 is the count. The Orioles 3 runs, 5 hits. That's Tom Seaver come out of the Met dugout there to take a look around. The Mets keep Tug McGraw throwing down in their bullpen. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and it's hit on the ground to short. Big hop up to Bud Harrelson. Guns across to Clint Dunn, and Belanger's out. The sides retire. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. And in the middle of the 7th inning, the score is Baltimore 3 and the Mets 2. Down to Tony Kubek.
With me, the famous band leader and pianist, Peter Duchin. Peter, how you enjoying the series?
Oh, it's just fantastic. I just hope we can get one more run, and quick. I'd rather not have to sweat it.
You are a Mets fan, then?
I sure am, absolutely.
Peter Duchin, thank you so much. Right now,
Thank you, Tony.
Let's go back upstairs.
All right, it's Al Weiss leading off for the Mets. Kuzman bats second in the order here in this inning, and McGraw's throwing in the bullpen. The pitch to Weiss is in for a called strike. Weiss has lined out to short and grounded out short to first so far today. Facing Dave McNally. That's a fly ball to deep left, and Buford breaks back now, and it's going, and it is gone for a home run for Al Weiss. And the score is tied at 3-3. Become the hitting star of the World Series for the New York Mets. That is his 5th hit in this World Series. The way that Don Buford played that ball, you'd have to guess that it got a little help from the wind once it got up there. And now Kuzman will bat for himself. That base hit keeps Kuzman in the ball game. So the score is tied 3-3. Kuzman comes up with nobody on and nobody out, and the Met fans are happy. Swing and a miss, it's strike 1. That is Dick Hall up and throwing. Dick Hall throwing in the bullpen.
Lindsey, Weiss hit only 2 home runs all year. Came on successive days in July. And now one in the World Series.
Swing and a miss. And as we noted before, in his major league career, Weiss had hit only 6, but one of those 6 had been off Dave McNally. And it was his base hit off McNally Sunday that won the ball game for the New York Mets. McNally strikes out Kuzman for his 6th strikeout of the day. That brings up Tommy Agee. Agee today walked, stole second base in the 1st inning, flied to center, and bunted his way on in the 5th when Brooks Robinson tried the barehand play with 2 men out. It did not come off, and Agee was credited with a base hit. The chant is Agee. Alley's pitches in for a called strike. Mets are batting in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and the score is tied at 3-3. Swing and a miss. It's strike 2. While the Orioles want to take this series back to Baltimore, the Mets, of course, want to end it right here today with the Mets as champions of the world. That's Harrelson on deck. Nancy Seaver. 2-strike delivery way outside. It's 1-2. Agee's followed in the order by Bud Harrelson. There's nobody on base. There's 1 man out. Agee, formerly of Grambling College. Ground ball foul back at 3rd. 1-2. Earl Weaver, manager of the Orioles. Louis Kuhn, commissioner of baseball, Joe DiMaggio. 1-2 pitch. Foul back. It's out of play, and the count holds at 1-2. A crowd of more than 57,000 fans here again today at Shea Stadium. McNally's 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, out of play. The lower field boxes. The count continues at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside, and the count goes to 2-2. Fouled it off. He stays alive at 2-2. So now, with nobody on base and 1 man out, it'll be a payoff pitch to Tommy Agee from McNally, who has struck out 6 and walked 2. 3-2 delivery. It is popped up to the right side, and Frank Robinson drifts over, puts it away. There are 2 men out. Bud Harrelson is coming up for the Mets. He has struck out, and flied to center. That's low for a ball. It's 1-0 now to Harrelson. Leon Jones timing the swing on deck. Oh, McNally goes behind 2-0. He was posted to a 3-run lead, and he has seen the Mets come back to get 2 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th, so it's all even at 3 runs each. 2-0 delivery. Low, and he goes behind 3-0 now to Harrelson. Eddie Yost is the sign man at third. Eddie Yost, who played in Washington for many years, but was born in Brooklyn and has a master's degree from NYU, lives now on Long Island. 3-0 pitch. He was taking all the way, and it's in for a called strike 1. 3-1. Eddie Yost was never with the first place ball club until 1962. A few days with the Los Angeles Angels. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. So again, McNally has gone full to the number 2 man in the Met batting order. Here's the payoff pitch, and it is slammed to Robinson, who makes the catch of the line drive for the out at third base. He was guarding the line. The side is retired. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and none left. At the end of 7 full innings of play, the score is the Mets 3 and Baltimore 3.
Weakest defensive player.
We pause now for station identification.
Kurt Moulton, Lindsay. Kurt Moulton.
Yeah,
right.
Kurt Moulton.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, for Baltimore, batting for McNally, number 21, Kurt Moulton, number 21.
And now Kurt Moulton is up to bat for McNally. Sends a ground ball to deep short, taken by Harrelson. Throws to first, and Kurt Moulton is out on the first pitch of the 8th inning. That's Eddie Watt throwing in the bullpen. Eddie Watt's throwing in the bullpen. One man out, nobody on base. McNally is out of the ball game now for that pinch hitter, having hurled 7 innings in which he gave up 3 runs on 5 hits. He struck out 6 and he walked 2. Now it's Don Buford up, top of the batting order. He's grounded out, and flied out to right on a long running catch by Ron Swoboda. That's high and away for a ball. Paul Blair is on deck for the Orioles. Score tied 3-3. The hits are all even at 5 each. Fly ball to center field, and A.G. ranges back now, pounds the glove, and he makes the catch. As we noted once before, A.G. has so many of the mannerisms of Willie Mays. It's not by accident. They're both from the state of Alabama, but strangely enough, they never met until A.G. came over from the American League to the Mets last year, and they played the San Francisco Giants on opening day, and it's the first time that A.G. ever met Mays. Paul Blair's up. Fly to center, struck out swinging, lined out to center field. Slow breaking pitch. Took a lot off that one. Low out of the strike zone. It's ball 1. Frank Robinson's on deck. That is a long foul ball down to the left field corner off the facade of the mezzanine deck, which is over the press deck, right up there. Off that facade, right there. Thin deck is the press deck. Logies below and the mezzanine above. 1-1 to count to Blair. It's high. 2-1. Paul Blair was the property of the New York Mets in 1962 in the Instructional League. He and Cleon Jones were roommates. 2-1 pitch. High and away. So now Guzman goes behind. 3-1 to Blair with Frank Robinson on deck. We can see Ed Charles there guarding the line, trying to protect against the extra base hit right here. 3-1 delivery. And it's deep short. It'll be a long throw for Harrelson, and in time. What a play by Harrelson, and the side is out in order. It's no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. And in the middle of the 8th inning, the score is the Mets 3 and the Orioles 3. Down to Tony Kubek.
Thank you, Lindsay. With me, one of our country's great statesmen, a man who has devoted his life serving our country, Mr. Averill Harriman, and quite a baseball fan also. How are you enjoying the series, sir?
Well, very much. I think that last play by Harrelson looked like one of those plays you used to make all the time.
You are a great Yankee fan. You remember my playing days.
Sure I was. When you were playing your best, the Yankees were a great team.
What about the defensive play in this ballgame? That's been one great defensive play, but gee, Swoboda the other day, and of course A.G., they've just been fantastic.
They are fantastic. I think that A.G. dive looked like one of the best catches I've ever seen. I heard that Hodges said it was the best catch that he'd seen in the all series matches. I don't know whether that's the World Series matches. I don't know if that's true or not. It's the best I ever saw.
Mr. Averill Harriman, nice seeing you here at the World Series. Thank you so much, sir.
Well, let's hope it's 3-all, and we're all rooting for that final run for the Mets.
Mr. Averill Harriman, thank you so much. Now let's go on upstairs.
All right, Tony Kubek. It's Eddie Watt in to do the pitching now for the Orioles. He pitched 2 scoreless innings yesterday in which he allowed only 2 hits. Won 5, lost 2 during the regular season with an earned run average of 1.65. And Eddie Watt was credited with 16 saves during the regular season. He led the Orioles in games. He was in 56. Cleon Jones will lead off for the Mets coming up here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. So the Mets will make a bid to go ahead in the bottom half of the 8th with Cleon Jones, Don Clendenon, and Ron Swoboda, the heart of the batting order, scheduled up here. The Orioles have gone now to a right-hander so that Gil Hodges will have some of his left-hand batters loosening up a little bit in the dugout. He has the platoon left-hand batters available. Low and away for a ball.
Weaver must have decided McNally was tiring. He gave up a 2-run homer in the 6th, a homer in the 7th, and Harrelson, the last man up in the 7th, lined out hard.
1-0 pitch, and it's low for a ball. We don't have a count, but McNally had thrown a lot of pitches for the time he had been in the ball game, as he went 3-2 on 3 batters in the very first inning of the ball game. Now Eddie Watt has gone behind to Cleon Jones, 2-0, with Don Clendenon waiting on deck. That's 3-0 now to Cleon Jones, and the Mets want a base runner. The Mets fans want a base runner. Dave Leonard's up and throwing again in the bullpen now for the Orioles. The right-hander Dave Leonard. 3-0 pitch. He was taking all the way, and it's in for a called strike. 3-1. That's Leonard now up and throwing. Score is tied 3-3. Mets are batting in the bottom of the 8th. 3-1 delivery to Jones. Swung on and hit in the air to center field, and Blair's going back. It's going, and it is off the wall in play. And Jones is standing up at second with a double.
Jones, who has power to all fields, more of a line drive hitter. Don Clendenon, who's coming up now, has a chance to tie a World Series record. He's hit 3 homers in this series. The record is 4, held by Lou Gehrig, who did it in a 4-game series, Babe Ruth, Duke Snider twice, and Hank Bauer, who hit 4 homers in a 7-game series. Clendenon's hit 3 here in this, the 5th game so far.
So Clendenon, who has walked, struck out, and homered, is up there now. That double of Jones hit about halfway up the wall, just to the center field side of the 396 sign. Eddie Watt, the ball is bunted foul. Gil Hodges putting on the bunt sign. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. This is Lindsey Nelson with Kurt Gowdy and Tony Kubek at Shea Stadium in New York. Clendenon given a little direct communication by third base coach Eddie Yost now. Tried to bunt the first pitch and fouled it off for strike 1. Trying to move the potential winning run from second over to third. There is nobody out. Swoboda is waiting on deck. Squares again, bunts the ball foul back into the seats and out of play. So twice they've tried to move the runner over, and twice it's been fouled off.
You know, Lindsey, Blair really played that carom off the wall perfectly. He got a bad carom there angling away from him. Jones might have had a triple.
He did. He played it just as perfectly as it could have been as he turned, didn't charge it so that it could come off the wall past him. He waited for it. Now the count has gone to 2 strikes to Clendenon. Struck him out. I fouled it off. He's still alive. Bunt was taken off. He was swinging away and just got a little of the bat on the ball to stay alive with a 2-strike count. It was a 2-2 pitch that he hit for the home run in the bottom half of the 6th inning that provided the Mets with their first 2 runs of the ball game. This will be a 2-strike delivery. And it's down the line and right. If it stays fair, it'll score a run, and it is a foul ball. A foul ball down to the right field corner. So that brings Jones back to second and Clendenon back to the plate. The count holds at 2 strikes. That had the fans up on their feet all around the ballpark, right down the right field line, sliced foul. So Eddie Watt takes a little breather, rubbing up the new ball. The Orioles 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Mets 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Two-strike pitch. Hit on the ground to third. Brooks Robinson up and throwing, and in time, no advance. Jones holds at second. So there's one away, and Ron Swoboda is coming up.
The ball took a tricky little hop just before Robinson went to field it.
Pete Rickard and Dick Hall are throwing in the bullpen now for the Orioles. Rickard, a left-hander. Hall, a right-hander. Swoboda is 1 for 3 today. That's Hall over near the wall. Rickard, the left-hander. Swoboda has had 5 hits in this World Series. Nobody has had more. Breaking pitch missed outside, and it's ball 1. Leon Jones at second base with 1 man out. Breaking pitch is hit in the air down the left field line. Buford is racing over, and he can't get it. He short-hopped it. Jones is coming home. There'll be no play at the plate. He scores, and Swoboda goes to second on the throw. The Mets are leading by a score of 4-3. Ron Swoboda. Look at it again now. Watch Don Buford.
Buford gives this a real try. Can't get to it. Traps it and desperately throws the ball in on the throw to the plate. Here's the swing by Ron Swoboda, who comes up with his second hit of the game. Right in there to him. So the Mets have scored 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and now have gone ahead with 1 in the 8th.
Now it's Ed Charles coming up. Chopper, that's in foul territory, and it's ball 1. Ron Swoboda at second base. Count of strike 1 to Ed Charles, with the Mets leading by a score of 4-3 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It's high and tight. We'll check the official scoring on Swoboda's hit. Hammett foul on the ground. We'll check to see whether it is a single and a run batted in, or whether it is a double and a run batted in, with his question of whether or not he took second on the throw. 1 and 2 the count now to Ed Charles. Scored as a double and a run batted in for Ron Swoboda. His second hit of the ball game. This will be a 1-2 pitch now to Charles. Breaks low, and it's even at 2-2. Charles is followed in the batting order by Jerry Grody. Be a 2-2 pitch. And it's hit in the air to left field, and Don Buford moves up now. He's underneath. Buford makes the catch, and Swoboda holds. There are 2 men out. Jerry Grody will be the Met batter. The Mets are leading by 1 run in the bottom of the 8th. If you'd like to look ahead to the top half of the 9th inning, the Orioles will be sending up the heart of the power of their batting order. Frank Robinson, Boog Powell, and Brooks Robinson coming up for the Orioles in the 9th inning, so don't go away. Grody flied to center, grounded into a force play, and grounded out short to first. Breaking pitch is high, and it's ball one. Foul back. It's 1-1 to Grote with 2 men out and a runner at second. Ron Swoboda, who delivered a double to drive in the go-ahead run. Jerry Grote, Gil Hodges, alongside pitching coach Rube Walker. Watt has walked off to the grass of the infield there so that he can work on the baseball a little bit and go to his mouth without penalty. The Mets 4 runs, 7 hits. The Orioles 3 runs, 5 hits. Game number 5 of the 1969 World Series at Shea Stadium in New York. This is a 1-1 pitch. And it is hit to first base off the glove of Boog Powell. And now he is safe. And here comes Swoboda to the plate. He scores. Eddie Watt coming over to cover was behind the runner. And Powell tried to toss it to him. He's safe at first. A run batted in, and the Mets lead by a score of 5-3. Earl Weaver with George Bamberger, his pitching coach.
This ball really hit like a rocket down the first baseline. Powell couldn't find the handle, wanted to scramble to the bag himself, saw he couldn't make it. Watts late coming off the mound, and the Mets now have a 2-run lead.
Crossing the plate, back to live action. Al Weiss is up now. There's an error charged on the pitcher. Here's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play, and it's strike one. On the scoreboard, the sign was flashed that the error was charged on the pitcher. We'll check that. It's an error first base and an error pitcher. Error on Boog Powell for allowing the runner to reach first, and an error on the pitcher for allowing the run to score. 2 errors charged on the play. 1 on Powell, 1 on Watt. And the Mets are leading by a score of 5-3. Foul back and out of play. 2-strike count. Al Weiss up there, the mighty Might, has 5 hits in the World Series, including a home run today that tied the score. Who would ever have thought that Al Weiss would be the hitting star for the New York Mets? One of the great glove men, made a great contribution all year long. Strike delivery. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike to strike him out. Second one for Watt, decided retired. So the New York Mets picked up 2 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors and 1 man left. And at the end of 8 full innings of play, the score is the New York Mets 5 and the Baltimore Orioles 3.
This is Curt Gowdy. Lindsey Nelson is headed to the New York Met dressing room. In case this series is over today, we'll have the celebration in the Met dressing room. Earl Weaver and Hodges now looking on for the 9th. It's Frank Robinson, Boog Powell, and Brooks Robinson, the middle of the Oriole batting order. Jerry Koosman, since he gave up 3 runs in the 3rd, has shut out the Orioles, has retired 16 of the last 17 batters, and has set down 7 in a row. Robinson has flied to right, homered in the 3rd, struck out in the 6th. Ball 1 and a curve. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Mets. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Orioles. Boog Powell on deck. Ball 2. If the Mets do hold on to this lead, it'd be hard to pick out their hero. They've had so many of them. One of them right there, Don Clendenin, Tommy Agee, Ron Swoboda, Al Weiss, their pitchers. McGraw and Taylor, McGraw left-hander, Taylor a right-hander, are in the Met bullpen in case Koosman weakens. Powell getting ready to come up next. lost 89 games last year, finished 9th, are 3 outs away now being the world champion. That's the Met bullpen. Ball 3-1 to Frank Robinson. He walked him. And the Orioles now have the tying run at the plate. That is the first walk given up by Jerry Koosman in the game. Powell is fly to left, struck out, single to left. Brooks Robinson on deck. 5-3, Mets leading top of the 9th. Strike 1. The Mets have had an almost incredible surge. They won 38 of their last 49 games in the regular season. Defeated the Braves 3 in a row in the National League Championship Series. Brooks Robinson on deck. And after losing the opener to Baltimore, have come back to win 3 in a row here. One and one. And here at Shea Stadium, they have won 28 of their last 33 games they played. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2 to Boot Powell, 2-1. Frank Robinson at first, nobody out. Bounding ball to second. The throw is for 1. Robinson going in hard, trying to take Harrelson out. They're booing him, but that's the way he should run the bases. Powell on first, 1 down. Brooks Robinson is grounded to short, flying to center, flying to left. We're going to have a runner for Boot Powell.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen from Baltimore, at first base, running for Powell.
Chico Simone.
Chico.
So it's Simone on first now, 1 out here in the 9th. A strike to Robinson. Powell's had the only hit. There's Dave Johnson on deck. Powell's had the only hit off Koosman since the 3rd. Strike 2. 0-2. I think if there's one word that can describe this Met team, it's inspired. No balls, 2 strikes. Curve is hit in the air into shallow right. Ron Swoboda waiting, 2 down. And if they get one more out here, you're going to see probably one of the doggone sights you've ever seen in sports here in this stadium and in this Met dressing room. So it's up to Dave Johnson now to save the Orioles. He's had 1 hit in 3 times. A ball to him. Orioles led 3-0 going to the 6th. Etchebarren on deck. Mets scored twice in the 6th, once in the 7th, and 2 in the 8th. A strike, 1-1. The Met fans now, over 57,000, roaring in every pitch. Gary Koosman of Morse, Minnesota. Outside with his breaking pitch, 2-1. Beat the Orioles Sunday 2-1. Leading right now 5-3 with 2 down. Simone on first. The 2-1 pitch. There's a fly ball hit out to left. Waiting is Jones. The Mets are the world champions. Gary Koosman being mobbed. Look at this scene. Ballpark apart when the Mets clinched their division pennant against the Cardinals. Here's the Met locker room. The Mets had 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Orioles 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Sport Magazine has declared Don Clendenin as the outstanding player of the series. And he wins himself a new Dodge. And it was a come-from-behind victory for the Mets today. They were trailing 3-0. Stay tuned now for a recap, the celebration of the new world champions of baseball, the New York Mets. The final score, New York, 5 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Baltimore, 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. The bedlam continues on the field here at Shea Stadium, and there's also bedlam in the Met clubhouse. And let's switch down now to Lindsey Nelson.
All right, and here in the clubhouse, it's bedlam too, as Mrs. Joan Payson, the principal owner of the New York Mets, is here. Congratulations.
It's yours, Gil, isn't it?
And the commissioner of baseball, Mr. Bowie Cohn, is here.
Lindsey, this is my most proud moment as commissioner. This is my opportunity to present to Mrs. Payson and to Gil Hodges, who are the 2 most responsible people for this team of destiny, for its accomplishment as world champion. I cannot tell you how proud I am of you, Mrs. Payson, Gil, of you, of your ball players. Every one of them made a contribution to this, every last one of them. And they can be proud of this because in beating the Baltimore Orioles, they beat the best darn ball club around they could beat. And I'm very proud of them. This then goes to the Mets.
Bowie Cohn committing the commissioner now presenting this trophy to Johnny Murphy, the general manager, to Mrs. Payson, and to Gil Hodges. Step up here, Gil. We want to get a good look at you. It's a long step down, isn't it?
Beautiful, beautiful. And,
what do you have to say about this?
Well, first of all, I would just thank the commissioner for this beautiful trophy, and certainly thank my immediate boss, Mr. John Murphy, and just all the New York Mets, Mrs. Payson, Mr. Grant, and all the directors, and certainly all the wonderful players that we had this year. They've done such an outstanding job, and we must not forget all the beautiful fans that we had in Shea Stadium all year long. It's just been a great year, and thank God it's over now.
It is indeed. John Murphy, the general manager.
Well, Lindsey, this is the happiest day of my life. I think Gil did a great job for us.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much for presenting the trophy, and I think we'd better remove this to a safer place with a little help, because we're going to have a few things going up here. Here is... Just behind you, Commissioner, is Don Grant, the chairman of the board of the Mets.
Thank you very much. Thank our fans. We've been very lucky, and we thank the man up above.
Don, what is that dripping off of you, Don?
That's a little champagne. I get it in my ear, but never in my mouth.
And the president of the National League, Mr. Warren Giles, who will be retiring after this season. Warren, you picked a great season to go out on.
This is the greatest thing that's happened to baseball, the greatest thing that's happened to the National League, and the greatest thing that's happened to me.
Wonderful.
Last year.
Wonderful. And you sound like you really believe it. And here's Mrs. Gil Hodges. Hello, Joan. She was here. He was here.
See, oh, I just can't believe it. It's been a year of miracles, and it's marvelous. Really, really
It is indeed. And Herb Walker, the executive vice president.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Nelson.
And now we're going to try to get some of the Mets up here. Here we are, Jerry Kuzman right behind me.
Great, Jerry. Just terrific.
Jerry, tell me first about that double that you ripped out there early in the ball.
Oh, you really hit, Kuzi. I always told him I was the hitter, Lindsay. I always told him.
You've been saying that, and Jerry Grody right there.
Yes, sir. He can do it all, Lindsay. He can do it all.
And right here behind us.
Yes, sir.
Is Mr.
Happy birthday.
Well, I'll tell you. I was going to say happy birthday to Mr. Pacer. Let's get Don Clendenon up here. Don, what did you hit on the 2-2 pitch?
I think it was a slider. I'm not sure. Slide or curveball.
Didn't really care, did you?
No, I didn't really care.
Don, you had a great World Series.
Thank you very much. I would like to have done better. But like I told everybody from the very inception that we're a great ball club. We proved it. Baltimore was overconfident, but we proved that we're a great ball club.
I think Mr. Payson has something to say to you.
I have this.
Thank you, sir.
I have this to say to the whole team. Today happens to be my birthday, and who could have a better birthday present than these boys gave me today?
Quite a present, it is indeed. Don, when you came down from Montreal, people were wondering how long you were going to continue to play baseball. What do you say now? The season's over.
Well, I have a 2-year contract. I will honor my contractual obligations, and I will play as long as I think New York can need my services, as long as I can do an adequate major league job.
Certainly, we'll be looking forward to seeing you next season when we start all over. Don Clendenon. Let's get Tom Seaver over here. Tommy, gotta be a big thrill.
Oh, the biggest ever. I tell you that you believe in this. Look at one of my Bobos right here.
Leon Jones.
Beautiful.
Just ripped that one pretty good there off the wall out in left center.
Well, Lindsay, this is the same ball club that been blown on the same field with the Baltimore Orioles, but we beat them. We showed them what we had, what type of ball club we had been all year. And we're number one.
They thought they were going to run us right out the field, and we come to play. This is a club that played this way all year long. We came from behind. We did it today, and you can't say too much for this.
Now tell me, I want to ask both of you. Tell me sincerely, because I want to ask you this question. You're down 3 runs. What kind of feeling did you have at that time about your prospects of winning the ball game?
We built it up all year long. It's been like that, Lindsay. No matter what happened, no matter where we were down 6-0, and Pittsburgh came back and won that ball game because we never put our heads between our legs, and we always fought, and it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Well, Lindsay, we're the type of ball club that has scored late all during the year. We never give up. This is why we're here. We get behind 3 or 4 runs in the latter part of the ball game, we come back.
Congratulations to both of you. You both had a great year. We'll be back here in a moment. Again, the final score was the Mets 5, the Orioles 3. In a moment, we'll continue to review the events of today's game. We're in the clubhouse of the world champion New York Mets, and it has a certain ring to it. We have Tommy Agee here, Ron Swoboda, Cleon Jones, and the mayor of the city of New York is about to make an entry here. Mayor Lindsay's coming up. What do you have to say to the Mets, Mayor?
Oh, God, it's going to be the biggest celebration New York ever saw. We're proud of you. What a lovely team.
What did the New York Mets in this summer mean to the city of New York?
Gave us the biggest lift that we've had in 1,000 years. Beautiful job.
Tell them you're going to give them a day Monday.
It's going to be a big day on Monday. Big celebration in the whole city. Biggest you ever saw. It's going to be tremendous.
The mayor of New York saying that Monday's going to be sort of a Met day here in New York. So get all ready for it. Did you enjoy the ball game?
It's the best game I ever saw in my life. Never been happier.
Marvelous. Mayor Lindsay of the city of New York. Tommy, you had a marvelous year and a marvelous World Series.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. We were kind of up for the series. We knew we could beat Baltimore. And when they were talking so much, it gave us that much incentive to win. They were talking so much, they forgot to play.
Right. Ron Swoboda was the last base hit, the biggest one you ever got in your life.
Well, we've come so far so fast. I think nothing can really be said. You know it, Lindsay. You know it because it brought us here. It was only one of the things. There were so many things.
Ron, you got the magic glove back. You got it all back.
He can pick it.
He can pick it. Can he pick it?
There's my buddy.
There he is, Rod Gasper, with a little something for the mayor here, and he's got to return the favor. It's fair enough. Come on in, Charles. Ed Charles, come up here. Let's get the glider up here. Ed, you've been in professional baseball.
Somebody threw in some cheap We're number one, Lindsay. It's a wonderful feeling. Wonderful feeling.
And you were saying back in August when October rolls around.
When October rolls around, the Mets will wear the crown. East side, west side. How about that, huh?
Lindsay, what I say? I said we won 4 straight, didn't I?
That's what
4 straight, and we did it.
Well, you won 4 straight after you lost that first one. That's true. Buddy Harrelson over here. Bud, you had a great World Series and a great season.
Thank you very much. I think it was a team effort today, as it has been all year. Once or twice, one individual would stand out, but overall, I think today was an example of our game, of a team effort and fighting back, never quitting on the bench, and just a great year, a great team, and I'm glad to be here.
Are you staying in New York now for the winter?
Yes, I live here in New York, and I'm looking forward to this World Series rubbing off financially.
But here we are, Al Weiss, the mighty Might, who suddenly found all the power in the world.
Lindsay, I was just trying to hit a single that time. Leadoff hit, I was just trying to hit a single, and it just went out.
Well, how is it now? You hit a home run off McNally once some years ago.
Yeah, I got him in my book twice now, and this is the biggest one.
Had to be a great thrill.
Oh, I can't explain what was happening to me going around the bases. I was so overjoyed I couldn't laugh. I couldn't keep a straight face. You know, I don't know what I did, you know.
A lot of things were happening to a lot of people about that time.
It's really great. You know, the whole team is just a great team effort, and it's been a wonderful year.
All right, we're here in the dressing room, and we'll be back with more.